The Eves era has begun. The teaching is underway, and it's time to apply. Advice is coming from all over the rink. Any suggestions, say?
Well, we need somebody to get something going here for the Badgers here. Somebody's got to come out, put one of those RPI red jerseys right in the cheap seats. And I mean in the cheap seats. Mike's got to get these guys going, and I know he's going to.
The side of the classroom is the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin, as the Badgers prepare to take on the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. Hello, along with former Badger Tom Sagasor, I'm Paul Brown. Well, Sags wanted to play the first shift and put somebody in the cheap seats, but we're going to keep him right here in the broadcast booth. And, Tom, whoever said this was going to be easy, huh?
Nobody said it was going to be easy, PB. What we're going to look for tonight is we're not going to ignore the elephant in the living room. What we're going to do is we're going to watch this play. We're going to watch the defensive coverage, and we're going to see these guys hopefully adapt. Dan Besser's in front of the net here now. If you can see, he's got to cover that defensively. He's got to be on his man. We've got 4 players from the UW down low below the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4 players down low. That's laps in defensive coverage. As the play progresses, the guy who Besser should have been watching scores a goal. Now, it's got 8 feet between him and his man. That's not acceptable. What we need to do is we need to correct the defensive lapses. As we see here, Brad Winchester makes an errant pass, blind pass, I might add, and it turns into an opportunity for RPI. Winchester makes a decision right here. Now, he needs to stay with the guy with the puck, or he needs to get back into the middle to cover defensively. Wisniewski's got his man up high, so he's okay so far, but he's got to push that shooter to the outside, make sure he doesn't drive to the net. As we progress here, you're going to see Wisniewski does his job. Okay, Winchester's got to get over now. He's got to get himself over to cover the second shot, because that's where Brookler needs the help. He covers the second shot, we're okay. He doesn't, they score.
And for the Wisconsin Badgers, one of the new coaches is Troy Ward, and he talked about the performance defensively for Wisconsin.
It takes 21 days to form a new habit in life, and we're 9 days into on-ice habits right now, and so we're not even halfway there, and you throw them into a game right away. I think just about what we thought. We thought we'd see what we've been trying to teach them for a while. We were hoping that those habits would stay in there for a while, because what that allows us to do is play as a team. I think as you saw early, we played pretty well as a team, but as the game wore on, we saw a lot of individual play.
All of the defensive pairings will change tonight. So will the forward lines. Dan Besser will not be in the lineup, and Kabatov will be the goaltender. The Wildcats and the Badgers coming up after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
Presenting the radically redesigned Ski-Doo MXC Rev, premiering in the new James Bond film, Die Another Day. And now, for a limited time, stop into your Ski-Doo dealer and play the Ski-Doo roulette game. You're guaranteed to save at least $400, with incredible odds of saving up to $1,000. For more, visit the Bond section at skidoo.com.
Wisconsin Badger Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab it by the horns. Dodge and by the Wisconsin Lottery. Since the Badgers opened the Kohl Center, Wisconsin has won 47 games, lost 30, and 6 games have ended in a tie. And the Wildcats of Northern Michigan, as they get ready to take on the Badgers.
Red jerseys right in the cheap seats. And I mean
now
in
the
cheap
Dodge
seats.
goalies for tonight's game. It is Kowalski for the Wildcats, 24-11-2 with a 2.35 goals against average and a save percentage of 92. And Kabatov, he is 10-11-2 for the record last year, 2.88 and a save percentage of 92%. The Dodge goalies for this game.
Somebody's got to come out and put one of those RPI red jerseys right in the cheap seats. And
Mike Eaves, the coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, in his second game. And he said the teaching has begun.
Mike Eaves got to be ready today. He's going to have his team fired up. He's made some lineup changes. And what we're going to look for today is he's going to keep teaching these guys his system. We're going to look for some high energy out of these players. Want to see some more hitting tonight, right away, right off the bat.
Stutzel is out with Gilbert and Coburn for Northern Michigan. And the Badgers counter with a line of Levitt, Eichelberger, and Rennie Bork. All of the forward line combinations have changed for the Badgers in this game. We have an icing called. And the coach of the Wildcats of Northern Michigan coming back after being an alum and extensive experience at a lot of different levels of hockey.
Yes.
Walt Kyle, the new coach. The first new coach for Northern Michigan in 26 years.
And yes, Walt Kyle is one of the premier coaches in this league now because of his experience. And I'll tell you what, Walt Kyle's a great guy. I spent some time with him before the game today. And he's really excited about the opportunity at Northern. He was an assistant there for many years under Rick Comley, and now he's leading the charges himself. And we're really looking for good things out of him.
Rick Comley took over as the head coach of the Spartans of Michigan State after longtime coach Ron Mason took the athletic director position with the Spartans. Just underway from the Kohl Center into Madison as Levitt turned and trying to pick up the puck. It's held in. There's a drive, and it's blocked. As holding it in for the Wildcats, Harrison out with Southern and Sherrod. And they try to go backdoor against Kabatov. Wisconsin will bring it up ice. That is Winchester with a puck, and his drive went off the plexiglass. Badgers in a full-strength situation behind the net. In a scoreless game, Jensen out with Telephus and Winchester, and they try to go between the dots to Telephus. Turned away on the play by Waugh, and he drives it down to the Badgers zone. It rolls to the near side to Wisniewski. Wisniewski of Wisconsin plays it in over the cat line. Going back is Waugh to set it up, taken away by Heisler. Heisler behind the net, trying to give it to Telephus. Telephus and Heisler behind the goal of Northern Michigan. They got an open man, shot, and Jackson fired it just wide of the goal. Badgers with pressure. Heisler tried to take the drive, which was deflected away. Zach's pretty good pressure here by Wisconsin.
So far, aggressive attitude on terms of the Badgers. What they're doing is they're coming out and they're taking the play to Northern Michigan. They're making Northern Michigan adapt to them. One of the things that happened last night was that we saw the Badgers, thinking before reacting. What this team needs to do, and Troy Ward said it best, 21 days to form a habit, okay? What they need to do is understand and react. That's when you're going to have cohesiveness within the system that Mike Eaves has implemented.
And the Badgers and the Wildcats at full strength. Cross ice on the pass, trying to move it in. Shot blocked in traffic, cleared by Northern Michigan, who's 1-1 in the year. Wisconsin picks it up. Heisler trying to go backhand toward the net. And Kowalski steered it in the corner. Whistle and play is going to be stopped. And we've got our first penalty of the game call, and it's a trip. And it comes at the 2:30 mark of the period.
It looks to me like really the Badgers got a penalty there. Adam Burish was playing hard in the corner there. I don't think that, Well, boy, I'll tell you, he was really going after it. He was being aggressive. I don't think he was really meaning to take the goalie out there, Paul. And that's a tough call. But now we got to watch this penalty kill. This is important. Let's set the tone here with a good, solid penalty kill by the Badgers. And then we've got something going on.
And Northern Michigan was 4 of 8 on the power play in their game with the Boston University. Very explosive club. They've got 3 big gunners in Coburn, Stutzel, and Gobert, who they think can put up 40-plus points apiece. That is Miller with a drive, but it's blocked in traffic. Turning, trying to drive it toward the net was Stutzel. That's behind the goal to Coburn. Coburn and Stutzel try to look back door on the pass to Micheludi. Around to the far side. Northern Michigan will set it up. Man advantage for the Wildcats. In the high slot. Moving it in. Shot in the goal by Coburn. His second of the year. And Northern Michigan scores on the power play, and they lead it 1-0.
Paul, you've got 3 seniors there at the forward position on that power play. That's very difficult to challenge as the Badgers, but you can see they left the guy. Kohl and Fahey were playing D there, and they left the guy down low, wide open. And that's very difficult when you're not understanding of your system yet, and you're playing against experienced players from Northern Michigan. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. These types of mistakes are not going to happen later on in the season. I can tell you that right now.
And Wisconsin down in the game. The time of that goal was 3:13 as Northern takes the lead on the power play goal. And we just mentioned those 3 guys, Sags, and all of them combined for the point as it went to Coburn. He was their top goal scorer last year with 20, and he led them in points with 39.
He's got 109 games played for Northern Michigan with 83 points, 47 goals and 83 points. Those are pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, and Fahey trying to skate it down, and Harrison harassing him a bit. Around the boards, I'm going to try and pick it up. Sherrock, and 15 minutes, 58 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Penalty coming up against Northern Michigan. Badgers lose possession of the puck, but they're going to have a power play when we come back. And here's a little activity after the whistle. We're back after this on Fox Sports Net.
With the new fall TV season and college and pro football here, there's no better time to turn your TV into a new home theater. And no better place to do it than American. We've got more choices of Dolby Digital receivers, surround sound speakers, and complete systems. More brands: Sony, Yamaha, Klipsch, Polk Audio, Bose, Infinity, JVC. We take the time to know the product to help you select what's right for you. And American has the low market price every day. Lots of home theaters even include 0 interest for 2 full years at American.
Okay, we're going to watch the play here. We're moving in, moving in. Boy, oh. Boy, that was a big hit there after the whistle, though. That's just, we need to keep control. We get an opportunity for a power play. We have to stay under control. I hope we come out of this with a power play still, and we still may. They're trying to figure it out down there right now. But this is an opportunity now for the Badgers. And, you know, you take a hit like that in front of the net after the whistle, Paul, that sometimes takes you out of position to get some momentum going.
And Mike Eves, those guys were up early this morning. You see Rennie Bork has gone to the penalty box for the Wisconsin Badgers. Those guys were up early looking at the tape and talking adjustments, making the lineup changes, and as they say, just starting the teaching process now.
The teaching process is going to go on for probably the first 30 days of the season, 30 days of practice and games. Troy Ward is really trying to get his players fired up to play defensively solid. We're on the power play here now, Paul. This is important. This is a big power play for the Badgers. Let's see him get some shots on the goalie.
It's a 5-on-4 power play. They've got Eichelberger in front of the net. Fahey tried to move it in toward the slot, but it was taken away and dumped down the ice. Kabatoff in goal for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Now you're going to watch this power play. What they're going to do today is they're getting a little bit more comfortable, and you can see that they're hanging on to the puck a little bit longer. So they're going to carry it into the zone, and they're going to get set up now. You watch. Levitt should get set up here, and then we'll get a shot.
And there's trying to backhand on a goal. It was scored in front of the net by Joe Simon, I believe. Or McMurtry gets the goal. McMurtry his first for the Badgers, and they tie it at 1.
Ryan McMurtry, a 6-foot, 195-pound freshman grinder, got in front of the net. Yep, he is just absolutely just a grinder. Look at him get in there. He's inside, and he gets the puck out right on his stick in the crease. One of the most important things for a player in playing hockey is you got to be in front of the net to score goals. Watch McMurray set himself up. Now, remember how we talked about the team setting up? They get the shot up, they get the point to get the shot, and then McMurtry's there for the rebound. That's opportunity, Paul. That's what the Badger team needs to do. They need to capitalize on the second and third opportunity. They need to get those goals. They did it here. Now we got some momentum. Now let's help Cabot off, and let's keep her going here.
Levitt gets 1 assist on the goal, and Jackson also gets an assist on the goal by McMurtry, his first for the Wisconsin Badgers. And there's a drive that went wide of Kowalski as Wisconsin tried to hold the zone, and a whistle play stop at the blue line. That's Troy Ward, the assistant coach for the Wisconsin Badgers. He's in charge of the defense for Wisconsin. He's also in charge of the power play.
Troy Ward grew up in North St. Paul, Minnesota. Been around the game his whole life. Had extensive experience at many different levels. East Coast Hockey League, the Professional Hockey League, and the National Hockey League with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's had experience at college, coaching Denver. I think he's going to be a good coach here for the Badgers in recruiting and helping them with their defensive systems.
Badgers tied this game on the power play. Both goals of the contest have been power play goals. Wisconsin had been 0-5 last night. And the Wildcats come out of their own zone, moving it up ice. And over the line, that's Milam. Milam is tied up by Jackson. Badgers transition out of their own zone. Comes back in over the line. Check thrown there at the blue line by Gilbert.
I thought Gilbert had a strong game last night. I hope he can parlay that into the rest of the weekend here.
Dan Besser is not in the lineup tonight, so Watsky is in. And out of the lineup is Lakari, and Gibson is in for Wisconsin. And, of course, Kabatoff in goal. So, in terms of personnel, 3 changes for this game.
And Paul, I got to tell you, the first 7 minutes of this game are just absolutely super because of the intensity and the hits. There's a lot of aggressiveness coming out of the Badgers. This is the way they need to play. And you know what? They can stand for hitting a few more. Each guy on each line, they need to have one guy on each line that comes out every shift. And if he comes back to the bench without a hit, Mike D should turn him around and send him right back out there.
You go get that hit.
Absolutely. You get that hit. Boy, I'll tell you, you want to wake somebody up, you go hit them. You hit them at about 15 miles an hour with skates on, and I'll tell you, it's pretty interesting. Northern Michigan's got 7 hits, UW's 5, but these guys seem they're playing pretty aggressive.
And the Wildcats turn and come out of their own zones. But I think that was a huge goal, Sags, for Wisconsin. They get beat 5-1 last night, and they then at that point go behind 1-0 here in this game.
Absolutely. Here comes McMurtry again on the side. He's a grinding winger. He's going to get those types of opportunities.
And moving it back up ice, controlling it. That's Gilbert. Gilbert comes in over the line, trying to puck for the net. Shot by Miller wide of the goal. Coburn tried to pick it up. That's a pretty good offensive unit, that line, isn't it, for Northern Michigan?
It is a good offensive unit. And I'll tell you what, this is now what the Badgers need to do, stay calm. They just need to look right at them, at the Northern Michigan players, and they just need to look them right in the eyes and say, guys, you know what? We can't fight in this league. We got face masks, but we're going to beat you on the scoreboard. Now watch Levitt here. Now see, now we got another penalty. Great play by Levitt. He's going in there. He's getting the puck. What McMurtry needs to do is he's not playing juniors in Canada. We have face masks. We cannot fight in this league. As many times as I tried, as many times as Jeff Sauer told me, Tommy, you can't fight in this league. What are you doing after the whistle? We can't fight in this league. What they need to do is keep their discipline. We've got the power play. Maximize it. You know, and now we, well, we'll see here. It looks like we just took ourselves out of a power play.
Baranek is in too for the Wildcats. 7:47 the time of those penalties.
Very difficult as a player to have somebody, you know, take advantage of one of your teammates or something like that. It's really difficult as a player to let that go. But what they need to do is they need to figure out how to do that. So we're in a 4-on-4 situation here. And we got Pete Talifas. What a great 4-on-4 player he is. He's got hands that are just absolutely golden. Soft as butter, Paul.
Bernick had the hooking call for Northern Michigan. 12:04 remaining here in the first period of play. Hitting after the whistle was one of the penalties, and that was the one that was called against McMurphy.
So we got Winchester and Peter Talifas. Good two up front guys. We'll see if he keeps them out here. So Mike knows that these are two of his most talented forwards, and that's what you want on a 4-on-4 situation.
And by the way, Dean Talifas, who is the father of Pete Talifas, is going to join us here in the second period on our telecast.
What a great Badger he was.
Yes, he was back in 70.
The best product ever come out of Hastings High School.
Second only to Tom Sagasor.
No, Dino was a heck of a lot better than Tommy Boy.
11 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Well, we'll get his viewpoint on that probably. And play along the boards back down to the Badgers zone in this 1-1 game. Winchester starts out for the Badgers. Winchester, the leading returning scorer for Wisconsin. He had 34 points last year.
Brad's playing a much better game tonight so far than he did last night. He's in it. He's going to bounce back, and I think he's going to have a good season this year. We're really looking forward to watching him.
And the Wildcats set it up to come out of their own zone. Play at center ice. That's Harrison with it. Skates in over the Wisconsin line. Pass broken up, and Wisconsin's Jackson. Mark Jackson out of St. Albert, Alberta. Wisconsin carries it through center ice. As the Badgers with a shot and Kowalski with the save. And we have a 1-1 game.
Paul René-Bork has a shot that usually you see at the NHL level. And what they need to do has a line. Anybody who's playing with René-Bork, what they need to do, and Alex Levitt, John Eichelberger, what they need to do is make sure that he knows all he needs to do is get himself open. Just get open and get an opportunity to shoot that puck. Big, strong kid, and he's got a shot that can score goals in any league.
He's also got a twin sister. Did you know that?
I think he's got twin older sisters as well.
That's correct. That's unusual in one family, isn't it?
The genetics in the family there are producing twins. Boy, I'm glad I don't have those genetics. I'd have like 8
You got 4 boys, though, right?
Yeah.
And whistle and play will be stopped at the blue line. Can't be done, though, yet, Sags. You got to get yourself a hockey team, right?
No, I don't think. Well, you know, you never say never.
10 minutes, 21 seconds remaining here, first period.
Now,
Kowalski has 7 saves so far. We've got Kabatov with 1.
Now, we got to remember the face-off rule here, Paul. So I've been watching this a little bit. We haven't had the face-off rule come into play. We had it come into play once last night, but now you can see here tonight, we have the face-off rule almost came into play there, but I think the referees got a little mixed up themselves. So
little period of adjustment.
Yes.
And, Sags, for the people that didn't watch the telecast last night, maybe you could explain that face-off rule when we get an opportunity here, because that is one of the major changes this year. The U.S. Olympics and the Olympic organizations put it in. The National Hockey League put it in. And only the National Hockey League is 5-8-5. In college hockey, it's 5-5-5. Going back over to set it up.
That's correct.
9 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the first period. We're knotted at 1 apiece as Coburn scored for Northern Michigan. And McMurphy scored for the Wisconsin Badgers. Both of them were 5-on-4 power play goals.
Now, I've been watching this defensive coverage. Our Badger team really is playing much better defensively tonight. They really are. They are closing off and funneling the puck out of the zone.
And it's going to roll down the ice, and the Badgers will go back to pick it up. That's number 15, Talifas, off on the play over to Kohl. John Kohl came to the program of Wisconsin out of Michigan. Coming through center ice, controlling it, played back down in the corner. Kohl trying to tie up his man there. There's a collision behind the goal, Jensen and Kohl. And the guy that went down there was
great hit by Eric. Great hit by Eric Jensen. That's what he needs to do to get this line going. He needs to go out there. He needs to put his shoulder on somebody's green shoulder pads every shift to get this team going. He's got to get in there, fight for the puck. Perfect play by Eric Jensen.
And it comes around over the Kohl with a shot. Hit the pipe. Oh, and it just bounced out after ringing off the puck. Or the Badgers that had a 2-1 lead there with 8:30 remaining in the first period of play. Going back over to set it up. Northern Michigan and Wisconsin tied at 1 here in the first period. Turning, that's Swanson with it. Swanson was awarded the best freshman on the team for Northern Michigan last year. Badgers turn, try to tip it out of their own zone. Picked up by Eichelberger. Eichelberger skates it over the lines. Got Winchester on his left. Drop pass to Wisniewski. And the follow by Winchester was deflected wide of the goal. Turning and coming up ice. Stutzel with it. Stutzel has got Coburn with him. And turning the Badgers at center ice. Northern Michigan clears it in over the Wisconsin line. That's Stutzel. Turn, trying to move it towards the net. Wisniewski drove it in the corner. 7 minutes, 43 seconds remaining. It's going to be played down the ice. And we're going to have an icing call. We've got a 1-1 game here in the first period. The action's pretty good. We'll be back after the break.
Some like football in their living room. Others like it in their face. If you like it like this, the Dodge Durango Tailgater Edition will make your weekend. You get a Coleman road trip grill, cooler, barbecue tools, and more when you buy any new Durango. Plus, get $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing. And our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So bag the TV dinners and let the tailgating begin with the Dodge Durango Tailgater Edition.
We're back at the Kohl Center in Madison, where it's a 1-1 game between Wisconsin and Northern Michigan. These two clubs used to play because Northern Michigan was in the WCHA. And then they decided to go into the Central Collegiate Hockey League. So it's good to see them again.
It is.
It was always good competition, wasn't it?
They were always a very formative opponent. Northern Michigan had some great teams back in the early 90s and late 80s. And in fact, Joe Frederick, former Madison native.
And McMurtry off on the shot, and it's the knockdown save of the follow. Just wide of the goal, and the rebound by Burridge. Out in front, Burridge fired it wide of the goal again. As Wisconsin with some pretty good pressure with Heisler, along with McMurtry. And the fans appreciating the effort of that unit right there, Zach.
Boy, it's just absolutely intense down there. That's what they need to do. They need to get the fans into the game, get themselves into the game. Lace some white jersey on some green jersey. Get it going.
There's plenty of opportunities for you to buy your tickets for Badger hockey. Come on out and support the team. Be nice to see some full houses here this winter at the Kohl Center. We're out on the far side, turning, trying to bring it out of the zone. Murphy played it, blue line of Wisconsin. Badgers crawl with the puck. Out is Degenhardt with Simon and Gibson. Turned away. And play continues. Shots are 8-3. Edge to Wisconsin there. And the Badgers, Fahey with it. Back on the play to Crawl. Angled it off the end board. Winchester over. Played it away from the boards. Badgers turn. And they come out of their own zone. Play is broken up, though, by Allen. Back in over the line. That is Ciano Ciso.
We got the big line of Winchester, Talafis, and Jensen out there again.
Long on the far wing, turning, trying to bring it out of the zone. Wisconsin moves it through center ice. And there's a drive, deflected down in the corner, and the cage is knocked loose. We're going to be back. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home for Badger hockey.
Every Saturday, I get together and play football with the guys. But this Saturday, I had to take a time out.
Hey, Steve, you okay?
It's my throat. It's all dry.
Hey, mine too. I think I got just what you guys need. Come on.
It was a good thing Brad was there. He explained that we were thirsty, and he gave us ice-cold Bud Lights. He told us that by drinking the Bud Light, parched feeling would go away. You know what? He was right.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
The Corona game plan.
Tonight, what they need to do is show leadership. We need scoring leadership. We need hitting. We need a lot of set that tone earlier, a lot of hitting right away. We need to step right into that.
Play continues.
And as we talked about earlier, Paul, defensive zone coverage. And we showed that a little bit earlier in the opening.
And would you say they've done a better job at it so far?
Absolutely. Absolutely doing a better job, taking the man all the way to the net, taking that far side, taking away the weak side, and closing down all the opportunities.
That's Winchester at center ice in the play. And skating back the Wildcats in their own zone. Winchester trying to forecheck and hold the zone. Comes to Harrison. Harrison's play partially knocked down. And it's picked up Rennie Bork, who blocked it a bit with his stick. Badgers turn. They come back to the Wildcat line. And they're offside at the blue line of Northern Michigan.
Paul, without question tonight, the Badgers are taking it to Northern Michigan. What they're doing is they're playing more aggressive. They could have a few more goals here on the scoreboard than what we have, but what they do is when you take it to a team, the team starts to, they go into the corner and they're looking over their shoulder like, oh, I got Winchester behind me, or I got Eric Jensen or Alex Levitt. It's tough to play that way.
And moving it up ice, Jackson, the defenseman, fell down, moving it in, shot kicked out by Kabatoff. Nice save there. Traffic in front, and a shot and a goal in the follow, as they had good pressure in front of the goal, and Gobert gets it, I believe. It'll be his second of the year, and it's 2-1 Cats.
It looked to me like Gobert had a play there that not too many other people in the league could probably make. Nice save here by Kabatoff. I believe defensive coverage-wise, I think the Badgers had him. They were on top of him, and the guy just made an excellent play there. Jackson, no stick. Well, that's probably one of the reasons why, but with a stick, he might have got a penalty there. But Jackson had no stick, but he was still on top of the player. That was an excellent play by Northern Michigan. That might be a goal in any league.
And it was scored by Gobert, and one assist was given to Allen. And that's Fahey with a drive, and the follow tipped wide by Fahey off the shot. And whistle and play is going to be stopped, as the cage may have been knocked loose. So one assist on that last goal to Allen, his second of the season.
Gobert's a 5'9", 175-pound senior. He's been in college hockey for a long time, played a lot of games, and he knew that it was a second, third opportunity that gets goals. In front of the net, took advantage of that. The backhander, that was a good goal.
Well, he's closing in on 50 goals in his career for Northern Michigan. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back at the Kohl Center after this timeout. Your home of the Badgers all season long, Fox Sports Net.
Presenting the radically redesigned Ski-Doo MXC Rev, premiering in the new James Bond film, Die Another Day. And now, for a limited time, stop into your Ski-Doo dealer and play the Ski-Doo roulette game. You're guaranteed to save at least $400, with incredible odds of saving up to $1,000. For more, visit the Bond section at skidoo.com.
Got Bursch, McMurtry, and Heisler out here. This line has really been working hard tonight. I think we're going to get some more production out of these guys tonight. Good follow through.
3:58 remaining here in the first period of play. It's 2-1 Northern Michigan, as Gobert and Coburn have scored, and it has been McMurtry for Wisconsin. 2 of the goals were power play, and the last one was 5-on-5. Whistle and play is stopped at the blue line of Northern Michigan in the championship game of the Icebreaker Tournament here at the Kohl Center. RPI against Boston University.
And BU won a big game yesterday with the shootout, the old-fashioned shootout.
That's kind of fun to watch those.
In Europe they do that all the time. That's why I couldn't play over there. They can't fight and they do a shootout.
And you can't make the saucer pass.
I can't do the saucer pass, and I can't stick handle for the life of me. And they don't let you fight over there.
Whistle and play is going to be stopped here with 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. As Kowalski went off.
Now Gary Shuchuk, he's a great player. Chris Tansel over in Europe, those guys can play till they're 50 years old, because
Badgers have picked up another penalty here. Is going to result in another Northern Michigan power play.
That was a questionable call, but he held him in.
Interference, the call on Jensen. So back on the power play goes Northern Michigan.
One of the reasons why Eric got that penalty is because he was trying to make up defensive coverage-wise. He was trying to make sure he had his man. And by trying to catch him like that, when you're playing from behind, you try to take shortcuts. And anytime you take shortcuts, you end up in 2 minutes.
Badgers had 3 total penalties last night of the game. They've got 4 so far in this one. And it's played on the far wing, set up by Northern Michigan. They already this year have 5 power play goals.
That's the sign of a mature team. They've got 3 seniors there up in the forward position for this power play for Northern Michigan. They know how to set up. They know how to get the shots. They know how to get the second opportunities.
Well, they got 17 lettermen on this club, and they have 12 juniors and seniors. So
And
that goes to that leadership and
Northern Michigan.
experience.
That's right. And Northern Michigan was picked to finish 3rd, correct?
Right,
In the
behind
CC.
Michigan and Michigan State.
Right. So Walt Kyle's inherited a pretty good team here, and I think he's going to have a good year.
Hopefully, though, they don't have a good game against the Badgers here. Wisconsin needs a win.
Yes. I talked to Walt earlier today and had a nice conversation with him. He's very happy to be back in college hockey. And he asked, he said, they televising the game? And I said, yes. And he said, well, we're excited to be, we want to be the team of the UP, the Upper Peninsula. And I said, well, Walt, just can you wait until after this game to be the team for the UP? But he's excited. He's got a pretty good team.
Southern trying to get the face-off for Northern Michigan. Southern plays for Northern. How about that one, huh? 2:03 remaining. 26, that's Jensen in the penalty box for 42 seconds.
Now, if you watch the way they set up here on the penalty kill, and they get, okay, now we got the referee. He's going to drop the puck. They set up with 3 forwards up and 1 D back.
And they come in over the line, controlling it. That's Milam. Goes cross ice in the play. Allen with it. Tried to go deep in the zone. Badgers turn, and they'll play it up ice. As the Badgers skate in over the line, picking it up, that's Levitt. Levitt moving it right out front, taken down, penalty called. Good play by Levitt. Zags as he draws the penalty.
Alex Levitt did absolutely the right thing. Young players out there, watch this play. What he does is he's coming in and he's going to drive to the net. Now watch him drive. He's driving, he's driving, he's driving, and he goes to the net. See, what he's trying to do is get himself in position to score the goal. He's not going to take that puck around the net and try to make a pass. He's going to try to take that puck, go to the net, and put that puck in the net himself. That's the way you drive to the net. That's what Mike Eves is trying to tell these kids. You got to go straight to the net. You can't score from behind the net. You can only score in front of the net.
16 seconds remaining before the Badgers will get their power play opportunity as Jensen's still in the box. Wisconsin trying to skate it down. Talipus in over the line with Winchester. Back behind the goal. The Wildcats turn and play it to Miller. And Jensen is out on the ice. The Badgers have the man advantage. Jensen picking it up. Lost control of the puck. And the Cats will play it back down in the Wisconsin zone. Northern Michigan with no shots on their last power play opportunity.
That's good penalty killing.
And skating it down. That's Baranek who will drive it back down to the Badger zone.
Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to set up the play here. We got to have one good rush. We got 50 seconds to go in a power play here. Let's get it in. Peter Talbot's driving in and get some shots. That's how they scored their last goal.
Here's Winchester trying to give it off on the play to Jensen. Talbot tried to hold the zone. And Northern Michigan dumps it the length of the ice. Using up some valuable time there, Sags.
They are. They're chewing up valuable time. They need to get it in, get it set up, and get some shots on goal.
Jackson carries it through center ice, comes cross ice, over to Rennie Bork, down in the corner to Levitt. Levitt works the wing, coming over to help out. Eichelberger at the point. Badgers hold it in with Wozniewski. They got to hurry. They're down to 14 seconds remaining in the period. Northern Michigan with a 2-1 lead in the game here. Badgers, Levitt in the corner. Levitt has set it up. Levitt's got to hurry. His pass is tipped away. Jackson tried to hold the zone, and that'll do it. We played 20 minutes at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. And Coburn and Gobert have scored for Northern Michigan. And it's McMurchie for the Badgers. 2-1 Cats. We're back after this timeout on Fox Sports Net, your home for Badger hockey all season long.
Have you tried Culver's new Buffalo Chicken Tenders? Culver's Buffalo Chicken Tenders are made from the most tender part of the chicken breast. And they're seasoned the whole way through, so you taste the heat in every bite of meat. Come to Culver's for the hot new thing. Buffalo Chicken Tenders.
And interest for 72 months on all Traxxter and Quest models.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. I was so afraid of that pain. Playmaker or troublemaker? Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Hello, Mr. President.
This fall, when our security is at stake, we need a man above the law.
Are you out of your mind?
And below the radar.
You want results, but you never want to get your hands dirty.
Peter Sutherland.
When do they need me?
24, the season premiere, presented without commercial interruption by Ford. No boundaries. This month on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Into Madison during the first intermission, the Cats lead the Badgers 2-1, and we continue a series that will all season long. During one of our intermissions, Tom Sagasor and Mike Eves with some instruction on hockey, and tonight they talk about tight turns.
Hey Badger hockey fans, Tom Sagasor here with Coach Mike Eves. This week we're going to do hockey tips on tight turns. Very much looking forward to this since it was not one of my masterful tips.
Well, Tom, let's get right to it and have some fun. When looking at the tight turn from a scientific standpoint, you want to take a look at the balance again. Tom has his shoulders over his hips, over his ankles, so that if somebody was to come up behind him and push him here, they could not knock him down because he has such good balance. You can see the extension of Tom's leg. This is what creates the power, and you actually push through the heel of your boot to create that power as you go around the cone. The application of the tight turn in the game of hockey is such that if Tom is the opponent and I'm trying to go around him, I've got my knee out in front of him, and I've got my leg extended for power, but then I have to incorporate my upper body. Now my hands have to help me protect the puck. Because I'm on my forehand, I want to bring my top end underneath, and my knee is out here, and the puck is being protected right here. If I'm on my backhand, it's just the opposite. I take my top hand and I move it away from my body, and notice that the puck is in the middle of my stance, so the opponent can't bring his stick around and get to the puck. That's the application of the tight turn in the game of hockey.
Controlling it, coming in on the break, moving it in, shot! And as we go to break, there's Tricia and the four boys, Tom Sagasor's family. We're back at the Kohl Center after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
It's the 10th anniversary of Wisconsin's very own Megabucks from the Wisconsin Lottery. But finding a place for an anniversary party would be tough, because there's been more than 12 million Megabucks winners. So there's a different way to mark the anniversary. For a limited time, players who purchase a $5 Megabucks ticket for the next draw will receive 2 extra plays for the next draw, 2 extra chances to win the Megabucks jackpot. And that can be enjoyed anywhere.
Every once in a while, a vehicle comes along and punches conventional thinking square in the face. Presenting the new Ski-Doo MXC Rev. Radically redesigned around an ergonomically perfect riding position. 20 pounds lighter, infinitely more athletic. It's a major blow to the status quo. Visit skidoo.com for a chance to win a special Bond Edition MXC Rev.
They fight to make a difference. They dare to change their world.
I can't really say I've ever had a role model. Well, now I've got one. Thank you.
But this month,
Rumor has it that the students are planning something.
their dreams are about to shatter.
This walkout is about the students' power.
This is about outrage.
Things need to change.
Shut up.
Why you shut up?
People, let's calm down. The new season of Boston Public. This month on Fox.
Hey, settle down. Now, don't worry. If Keyshawn Johnson said he'll be here, he'll be here.
We'd like to welcome in a guy who always finds time to be on the show, Keyshawn Johnson.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go! With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey, guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by the Ream Team, your heating and cooling experts in the greater Milwaukee area. And by Corona, Corona Extra, miles away from ordinary.
Oh, Steve, I don't think you should hang the bug zapper over the Bud Light. That's really tacky.
Yeah.
Great party. Thank you.
Yeah, this dip is fantastic.
Great. I love these crunchy things on top. Are they caraway seeds?
Yes.
I didn't put anything on the dip.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Great party, guys.
Fun.
Make it a Bud Light.
You know how I promised I'd always give you nothing but the best? I kept saying, price is no object.
Very generous.
Now the truth is, price is an object.
A big object. That's why we're going to Tires Plus.
Tires Plus, all the right brands at all the right prices. Introducing the road-gripping, rain-loving Bridgestone Turanza LST, as low as $62.99 now at Tires Plus.
Talking your car lately?
Tires Plus.
Someday, I'll save the life of someone you love.
Someday, I'll build you a home where you can raise your family.
Someday, I'll give you hope when things seem hopeless.
Someday, I'll help your kids or grandkids prepare for their future.
Someday.
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 Someday, we'll be there for you. But today, we need you to be there for us. Support candidates who believe that every kid deserves a great school.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around. I was so afraid of that pain. Playmaker or troublemaker? Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
This month.
Mr. President, we are in the middle of a grave situation.
When our security is at stake, we need a man above the law.
Are you out of your mind?
And below the radar.
You want results, but you never want to get your hands dirty.
Kiefer Sutherland. When do they need me? 24, the season premiere. Presented without commercial interruption by Ford. No boundaries. This month on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Back at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin, where Coburn has got 2 for the Wildcats of Northern Michigan, and McMurtry has 1 for the Wisconsin Badgers. It's Northern Michigan leading 2-1 over the Badgers, but Sags, there was a lot better effort on the part of Wisconsin in that first period.
Wisconsin Badgers took it to Northern Michigan tonight. What they did was they contacted the players. There was immediate contact, aggressive mentality. And what's great about this is that when you start hitting guys, guess what? You're going to get into the game. You got no choice but to get into the game. Rennie Bork there. Now we got Alex Levitt. Watch Alex Levitt going in. He's getting in there, getting the puck, drawing a penalty. We got McMurtry coming in behind him. He's going to stick up for his little buddy. Now we got some more here going on, but you know what? They're not going down. There's a lot of contact. Winchester getting hit, and he's right back in, ready to play. Mark Jackson takes one there, but he's going to give a couple more here later on. That's the type of intensity that this team needs to give. They need to get in there. You give a hit, you take a hit, and you're playing and you're in the game.
And let's take a look at the Wisconsin Lottery first period statistics. Zags, the one that stands out is the face-offs won, a decided edge for Northern Michigan.
Again, just like a football game, time of possession is everything, and the immediate possession is started with a face-off. If the center can win the face-off and get it back to the defenseman, they can set up, they can play within their system, and they can get something going down in the offensive zone.
What do you think Coach Eaves is talking about down there in the locker room?
I think right now he's really happy with the intensity. The guys came out ready to play. Again, they gave a hit, they took a hit. There's a lot of contact, a lot of white jersey on green jersey. What he needs to do now is keep reminding them, guys, we got a system here. If we can play within our structure, we're going to be successful. It's a 2-1 game. This very easily could be a 2-1 game for the Badgers.
Would you get enthusiastic, please? We'll be back with the second period of play-by-play right after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
Bend your knees. There you go. Excellent. Square your hips. That was good. All right. Back in position. There you go. Active feet. Like a ballet dancer. There you go. Good. That's a winner.
This darn thing.
This darn thing.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it up Traxxter and Quest models.
That'll fix it.
And now if I could just find someone I trust to fix my furnace problem. I just don't trust those wild claims I see in the paper.
That's why I call the Ring team. They're different. They were on time, explained the problem, fix only what needed fixing. Fair price, too.
Yeah, right.
No, really. Call the Ring team.
Give me that number.
In Washington County, call Custom Air Heating and Air Conditioning at 1-800-266-4212.
We will impress you when you make that call to the Ring team.
And now another winning experience from the Wisconsin Lottery.
Randolph Mott of Holton won $25,000 on Powerball.
Stay tuned for another winning experience from the Wisconsin Lottery.
Totally NASCAR is the only place to fuel your racing addiction 5 nights a week.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Your destination for all that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6.
And we're back at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin for the start of the second period, 2-1 Wildcats. And Sags, the Badgers still are going to need people to pick up that scoring punch, aren't they?
They are. We need to get better on our face-offs, and we need to get some scoring leadership. We need to get some scoring leadership out of guys like Alex Levitt, Brad Winchester, Pete Telefus, Rennie Bork, Eichelberger. That's where we got to get our scoring leadership.
As it's a 2-1 game as we get underway from the Kohl Center into Madison at a crowd of about 10,016. for the first game of the year. Plenty of tickets available. Come on out and watch the Badgers. Both teams are at full strength. You're going to see a lot of exciting hockey before the season is over. WCHA opens up here at the Kohl Center against Denver, who is picked as the preseason favorite to win the league.
That's going to be a great series watching Dubelevitz. I love saying that. The goalie for Denver. He's an All-American goaltender. He turned down 3 NHL offers as a free agent this past summer to come back to college. That tells you that he might be just like me. He might enjoy college as much as I did.
And I know the reasons you enjoyed college was because educational.
Because I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin. And you know what? It's become my favorite vacation place. I call it Hawaii, Wisconsin.
You do?
Absolutely.
The weather isn't the same.
Oh, the weather is only what you make of it, PB.
And moving it back in over the line. Where else could you have gone to college other than Wisconsin?
Well,
recruited you?
I had offers from 14 different Division I schools. and the Air Force Academy.
18 minutes, 23 seconds remaining. After I asked that question, I got to thinking very quickly to myself, maybe nobody has offered it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, PB, I didn't tell you what the offers were, did I?
It's 2-1 Northern Michigan out in front here. We got 18:04 remaining in the second period of play. And moving it up ice, that's Gilbert comes in over the line. As the Badgers have Degenhart out with Simon and Gibson. Gibson playing in this one. Freshman out of Calgary, Alberta.
Tom Gilbert's really playing well as a freshman defenseman here for the Badgers. We're looking for good things out of him this year. He needs to keep up the intensity that he did last night and so far that he showed today.
He's out of Bloomington, Minnesota, moving it in. Shot! And the drive right on by Degenhart. The save was made by Kowalski, who had 7 in the first period. And Kabatoff had a total of 4 saves. Northern comes in over the line, skating with a puck to Swanson. On the drop, that was intended for Bob, turned away. Back up ice, the Badgers. As they come in over the line, Simon tried to get some help, but it was cleared and turned back by Alan Swanson. Drove it back down in the corner. Crawl over to try and pick it up. Northern looks to set it up in the Badger zone, but Wisconsin's buried. Tried to clear it. Back comes Crawl. He's paired defensively with Fahey. Eisler with it, working the wing.
This team's playing a lot better tonight, Paul. Breaking out of the zone with passes instead of guys, the defensemen. When you have the defenseman carrying the puck all the way out of the zone, that's not a good, healthy breakout. What you want to have is stick-to-stick pass, get it out, just like a dot-to-dot.
And there's a shot, and Kabatoff steered it behind the net. It has been fired by Milam. Out at center ice, that's blocked by Baranek. Baranek, their penalty leader last year, was 77 minutes.
That's a few minutes.
Going back over to pick it up, Baranek, cross ice in the pass. Donette played it in over the Wisconsin line. Fahey picks that up. Fahey quickly to center ice, to Levitt turn. Fired a pass. Went right to the skates there of Baranek. Badgers try to hold the zone. Already Bork down in the corner. And it's going to be held in by Wisniewski, trying to play it deep in the corner. Gobert over to Turn and trying to bring it out of the zone. Badgers do hold the zone. Already Bork with a drive. Wide of the net. Levitt picked it up behind the goal. Levitt off to Wisniewski, drove it wide of the goal.
Great play by Levitt to pick up the rebound. And then he saw Wisniewski coming in for the shot. Nice pass. Wisniewski, you got to hit the net. You can't score unless you hit the net.
And Sawatsky back for Wisconsin. Play at center ice, broke it up. That's Gobert with it. Gobert at the blue line of the Wildcats. Cross ice in the play. And Wisniewski will skate it down. He's out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois.
Now, Sawatsky, Paul, had a...
And we'll be back, Sags, to follow up on your thought after this timeout. 2-1, Northern Michigan.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my closet.
I have an idea. There, honey. Feel safe?
Now the monsters are under the caravan.
No, they aren't. I'll show you.
Dodge Caravan, a feeling of security no matter what lies ahead.
Told you so.
Sure, let's hide under the minivan. Great idea.
See Monsters, Inc. now on DVD and in the Dodge Caravan. Get 0% financing and a no-charge DVD player on Caravan ES, plus Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty.
And you take a look at the league leaders for Wisconsin in returning scores for points. Winchester right there on top with 34. Besser with 28. He is not in the lineup here, and they wanted to keep him out because he said mentally he was ready to go, but physically he probably shouldn't play in this game.
You just don't want to burn out Dan Besser. He's an inspirational leader. He's a talented player. You can't burn him out early. He's had some issues health-wise here. You know, we all are aware of those issues. He's a great kid, and Mike Eves wants him in the stretch run. He doesn't want to burn him out in the sprint here.
And for the people that may not know, just 14 days ago, Dan Besser completed his 20th radiation treatment for cancer. And you talk about an inspiration, as you were mentioning.
Absolutely. Dan Besser is going to be a quality individual for this team. And Mike knows that, and he's aware of that. It hurts Dan Besser not to play tonight. There's no doubt about that.
And coming off ice, Ciancio down in the corner on the far side. Kinnunen is out with Swanson and Ciancio. And Ciancio trying to pick it up. Badgers played in the corner to Crawl. Wisconsin trailing 2-1 in the game. Shot from the point. Glove saved by Kabatov. Looking for the perfect way to spend your evenings? It's the best damn sports show period with host Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. It's the only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. So kick back and enjoy the best damn sports show period. Now available weeknights at 8 and 11 p.m. only on Fox Sports Net.
And PB, I do love that show.
Well, I can see you fitting into liking that show. You're kind of like the guys that are on there.
That's one of my goals. I want to get on that darn show and show them what Badger Spirit's all about. Genuine enthusiasm.
One of those ex-jocks that could go on there. I think you could hold your own with those guys in that show.
Well, remember, I played the world's fastest game at the second highest level.
McMurtry comes in over the line. He's got the goal of the game for Wisconsin. Northern Michigan's got 2 on the boards, and both of those have been scored by Coburn, who now has 3 on the year.
Now we've got Tom Sawatsky out here from Duluth, Minnesota. I talked to Steve Wallach. They really wanted him to come to Duluth. But Tom Sawatsky, who played at the National Team Development Program for Mike Eves, he didn't want to go back and play in his hometown. What he wanted to do is he wanted to play.
Shot by Rennie Bork, and the save is made by Kowalski.
He wanted to play for the Wisconsin Badgers. He knows the tradition down here, and he came down here, and you know what? That's the kind of player that's going to really give you a lot of effort.
There's Miller with a drive from the point. Played back down in the corner. You can certainly understand sometimes kids just don't want to play near their hometown.
Well, I asked him, I said specifically, you know, boy, that's pretty hard to leave your city. And he said, oh, no, have you ever been to Duluth? And I said, well, I've been to Duluth. We played a lot of games up there. And he says, well, he goes, I grew up there. And he goes, I was ready for a change.
Comes around the boards on the near side, moving it up ice. For some reason, I can't see you being a Gopher, even though you were born and raised in Minnesota.
Well, my favorite color was red from the day that I was 5 years old. And
is that Hastings colors?
It was not Hastings colors, but what happened was 5 years old, and I got into a fight in the playground. And
that doesn't surprise me.
The little boy that I was fighting with had a bloody nose.
Yeah?
And he said he got scared of the red blood. And I said, it doesn't scare me. The red blood didn't get me all upset, but got the little boy upset.
You did?
Yeah, Dad wasn't real happy with me. That was the last.
That was the first and only.
That was the last fight I ever got into, Paul.
There's a shot deflected out of the net by Coburn. Don't want to let him get a hat trick here in this game. He's already got a couple of goals. 2-1 score up on the board. Badgers need a goal to tie this one up here. Let's see who we can hopefully get. Move it in over the line. The whistle and play is going to be stopped. Let's see what they're going to call here.
This line is playing pretty good tonight. Bork took a penalty there that I believe that Rennie Bork believes that he's going to the penalty box. He's going unwillingly, put it that way.
8-16 on the interference call.
We're going to see the play here. Yeah, that was it was a behind the play. You can't have penalties behind the play like that, Paul. This is where discipline comes into effect. Mike Eaves is not going to be happy with Randy Borg for a penalty like that. And now the power play, the penalty kill has to come out and shut these guys down in the power play.
Miller with it just inside the line. As we mentioned, they had 4 power play goals in their game with Boston University. Miller with a drive, kicked out by Kabatov. Rebound played in the corner. They've got their big guns out there as well in Coburn along with Gobert. That's Gobert right there, moving it in. Trying to chase it down is Stutzel. And Wisconsin clears it down the ice.
Paul, you can really tell the difference between a power play that has 3 seniors and the power play that the Badgers are running. Watch the way they're cohesive. They know where each other are going to be. They know to work the far side. If they're showing weak side penetration, there's always a guy on the far side who's going to be open for a pass or a shot.
That's Gobert. Back to the point on the play. Gobert looking for the outlet on the pass just inside the line to Miller. Eisler on the penalty kill with a drive deflected, but it went right to Gobert, who tried to slide it toward the net, but it's cleared out. And moving it up ice, McMurtry comes in over the line and the drop to Eisler. Shot! Oh, and it was picked out of the air by Kowalski.
Great play by Ryan McMurtry. Stepped in, he dropped the pass and then did a pick. He ran a pick and let Eisler take the shot.
And it's set up again by the Caps with the man advantage. Southern out on top with a drive, and it's blocked there. Good play.
Levitt did a nice play there. He's limping off the ice. Yeah, he's going to be okay. He's a tough kid.
And Northern looked like, yes, they were offside as
Southern went below the
couldn't
Mason,
hold up there, could he?
Below the Mason-Dixon line there, otherwise known as the blue line.
Is that what you used to call it, the Mason-Dixon line?
Well, only when I was offside. Levitt's out there hopping around on his leg right now. It looks like he's loosening it up. He's going to be okay. Trainer Andy's not over there talking to him, so it looks like he's going to be just fine. Pete Talifas here now.
We got about 18 seconds remaining in the man advantage here. Coming back, Swanson. And over the line on the left side, they got Kinnunen. The Badgers will play it back down in the zone of the Wildcats. That's Waugh going back over, turning, looking for the outlet on the break. Kinnunen comes up ice. Over to Swanson, back to Kinnunen. Badgers back at full strength. Shot picked out of the air. We'll take a break and we'll be back at the Kohl Center. It's 2-1 Caps. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home for Badger hockey all season.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
9:39 remaining in the second period. Still 2-1. That was the score after 1 period of play. Sawatsky turned and trying to bring it out. Northern on the turnover with the drive. And trying to skate it down at center ice was Talifas. Wisniewski gloves it, played it to the ice, leads it out over to. Gets the pass, shot picked out of the air by Kowalski.
That's a great play by Pete Talifas. Brought the puck in, brought it in, sucked the defenseman over, dropped it back, and Eric Jensen. Now watch Talifas come across the blue line. He sucks that defenseman over. Jensen's smart enough to do the one-timer. That's a great play by those two. They're working very well here, and those are going to turn into opportunities that will turn into goals.
Talifas, Winchester, and Jensen out as the forward line for the Badgers. Talifas and Winchester played with Eichelberger last year. As we mentioned, all 4 forward lines have been changed. Shots are 14-11, the edge to the Badgers. Play behind the net of Northern Michigan. Jensen trying to work his way loose, and he drew the penalty.
He did draw the penalty.
And then he was checked from behind. Let's see, maybe we get 2, huh?
I don't think we're going to get 2 out of that. That's stretching it. But I'll tell you what, Eric did a great job coming around the net, and that was puck protection. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about Now watch this. He's coming out from there, and now he's protecting the puck. And while he's protecting the puck, the NMU guy has only one choice, and that is to wrap his arms around him. Dave Bonk wraps his arms around him. He's going to get 2 minutes for holding, and he's going to feel shame in the penalty box while the Badgers go out and score a goal here on the power play.
And hopefully Wisconsin can tie it up. McMurphy did score a power play goal for the Badgers. And Wisconsin with a man advantage. There's a shot, and covering up Kowalski in front.
Remember what I talked about Paul last night. You got to suck those players down, get the puck back out to Gilbert, get it out there to Jackson, let those guys shoot the puck. Jackson's playing the point here along with Tom Gilbert. Let those guys shoot all day long, and then have Levitt and Bork and Winchester pick up the rebounds.
Man advantage for the Badgers, but they got to back it out to center ice to set it up. 1 for 2 tonight, and 2 shots in the power play so far. Chasing it down in the corner, that's Rennie Bork. Tried to cycle it to the point to Gilbert, but the Badgers' Kabatoff goes to his right, picks it up, and leads it out to Jackson. Jackson skates in over the line. Man advantage Wisconsin. 1:17 remaining on the power play. Badgers down 2-1 in the game. Eichelberger over to try and pick it up, looking for help. Out on top, Jackson with a shot. Knocked down in front and cleared. Northern Michigan will play it back down in the Wisconsin zone. Donat played it for the Wildcats to the corner, but it's picked up by Gilbert. Badgers transition through center ice. As Levitt, stick handling through, shot picked up, and the goal! Winchester on the follow. Levitt took the initial drive. Winchester gets his first of the year, and we're tied at 2.
This play is going to start way back in our own offensive or in our own defensive zone. Now watch Gilbert make the pass here. He moves it over. Winchester's in the play. Levitt's got the play. Great one-on-one play. Winchester's in there for the rebound and puts it home. That's the kind of scoring leadership we need. Remember how we talk about the second opportunity? Watch the second opportunity here. Right into the back of the mesh. Nothing but net right there for Brad Winchester. Great play by Alex Levitt to create the second opportunity for Brad Winchester. Let's see more of that tonight here, Paul.
Levitt's made a couple of big plays in this game, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He's a great one-on-one player. We saw that on that move.
Here's Jensen in over the line, trying to lead Talafus against Miller. Behind the net, turning, coming over to try and pick it up is Winchester. 7:22 remaining in the second period. And there's a shot. Kowalski steered it away. He was 24-11-2 last year for the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. As Wisconsin's Fahey poke-checked it clear. Nice play defensively in the corner.
This Badger team's playing a lot better right now. We got 7 minutes to go in the second period here. What we need to do is keep this momentum going in the right direction. They can get a couple more goals here, capitalize on the second and third opportunities.
Northern trying to pressure the Badgers at center ice. And turning and driving it in over the blue line. That was Simon. Coming back over to set it up. Badgers try to pinch and hold it in. And it's poke check to center ice, where Wisniewski will drive it back down in the zone. Milam there, fired it around the boards, and it slides back blue line of Wisconsin. As the Badgers set it up, Gibson to the play. Trying to hit Degenard at the blue line.
This line is a workhorse line. They come out, and all they're trying to do is get it to the red line, get that puck up into the offensive zone, and try to create some opportunities.
Badgers only got 3 shots on their 2 power play opportunities, but they got 2 goals.
Absolutely making it work. That's what it's all about, making it work.
And look out, here's a 2-on-1. As coming in over the line, there's a shot and the save by Kabatoff. As Swanson came in on the break. As Winchester came back at 12:18 and tied it up at 2 at the Kohl Center. 5:58 remaining, second period. Good hockey game, Sags.
Absolutely. Got to get these Badger fans going now. Badgers lead the nation in attendance 28 times since 1969 and 1970, including the last 4 straight since moving to the Kohl Center. Get the Badger fans into it, and these players will really play for them.
11,807 was the average last year at the Kohl Center. Played along the boards. Badgers look to try and set it up. There's the shot. And Kowalski with a save against Gilbert.
Again, Gilbert's coming in the backside. He's filling the spaces. That's the type of play that comes out of a player who's got a maturity level. Now watch Tom Gilbert. He is playing like a senior upperclassman. Now watch him fill the space here. He's filling the space, coming in the backside, getting a shot off.
What do you remember about the old Coliseum?
I remember nothing but good memories. In fact, I remember when we beat North Dakota two nights in a row in OT, and they made us come back out after we went in the locker room. The crowd wouldn't go home, and they made us come back out. And half of us guys were out of our uniforms and our equipment, and they said, "Come on back out there for an encore." And we said, "Encore? We got to play them again?"
It used to be a fun place to play.
The Great Dane, and well, a lot of good times in that rink.
What do you think of the new facility in the Kohl Center? What, from a former player's perspective, what does this do for the program?
I think that as a recruiting tool, that you have to have a great facility. And so, you know, Jeff Sauer and his group had a great opportunity here to recruit. Mike Gaves is stepping into an institution here who has spent the money on a great facility. This is not going to be a detractor for anybody. This is going to be an enhancement and an enabler for him to get the good players.
And I want to talk about those types of players, Sags, that you think Mike will recruit as he starts the process. In fact, they've already got some non-binding verbal agreements for next year.
Yeah, Mike is going to get players that are going to be real hard-working, determined, and play within a system.
Along the boards, back down deep in the zone. That may not necessarily then be superstar, right, so to speak?
That's correct. You know, he's going to get his fair share. Superstars that are going to show up at the end of the day. But what Mike's going to do is try to get players that understand and work within a system, because that's the kind of team that can build into a championship level quality. You need to have depth. You need to have. Mike Gaves has got the ability to go out there and evaluate players. He's evaluated talent at all different levels. But what he needs is 4 lines. You got to have depth. You got to have your third line center be able to score 10 to 12 or 13 goals. You need to have your first line center and wings scoring somewhere between north of 20.
4:02 remaining in the second period of play. We're knotted up at 2 here. Jensen turned, tried to fire it out, looking for help. Looks like Northern's picked up the hitting a little bit, Stag. And it's played back down in the corner on the far side. Jensen over to set it up, trying to pass it to Talipus. Comes around the boards. Talipus bumped in the corner.
You know, you start hitting a team hard enough and long enough, they're eventually going to either fight back or die. And it looks like Northern Michigan here is trying to fight back. So the Badgers got to keep taking it to them.
Maybe that's where that conditioning helps a little, huh?
Yeah, 100%. This team, Northern Michigan's got 8 hits, the UW 7 hits here in the second period. That's a far cry from where we were last night in the second period. This team's playing a lot better tonight.
Winchester slides it out. Play intended for Jensen, and action's going to be stopped. We're at the 3:08 mark of the period. The only goal by Winchester is first of the year, tied at 2 on Fox Sports Net.
Wow, that is so cool. Can he do it again?
Sure. You'll get one, boy.
Okay, so where does he get him? Yeah.
I don't know.
Get down!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Ooh, that's a first.
Make it a Bud Light.
2 goals so far in this game by Coburn of Northern Michigan. McMurchie and Winchester have scored for Wisconsin. Both Badger goals power play, their first 2 of the year.
Should be noted both goals were scored on second opportunities, not in the first shot, second opportunities. Remember McMurtry in front of the net, grinding it out, getting the rebound, and then Winchester doing exactly what he can do best. His big size, getting in front of the net, getting the rebound, and scoring.
You'd look good in one of those hats, Zag.
You couldn't get that yellow and green helmet on me for the world. I'd go paint myself red and go take them on right now.
We never did figure out what in the world those 3 people were painted up with last night.
It was a tomato toss, I told you.
You know what, though? Those colors could be Packer colors, too, you know.
Well, I'm
living in Minnesota. Don't tell me you're a Viking fan.
Any team that's got Randy Moss on it, I'm not rooting for.
But you are the Twins.
I am, well, who's not rooting for the Twins? Every time they win the World Series, the stock market goes up.
And that really is of interest to you. Around on the far side. Coming back, able to pick it up now. The Badgers just inside the line. Levitt was alone, but they couldn't get him the puck. As the Badgers in a 2-2 game here. 2:25 remaining here in the second period of play.
We've got some solid goaltending here tonight for the Badgers, too. And I think the solid goaltending is always extended from the good defensive coverage. They're playing much better in their own zone tonight.
And moving it up ice. Levitt trying to skate it down. Got it with it. Goes behind the net. Mentioning that one of those painted fellas is back here tonight up in the crowd. And maybe he didn't take it off. He probably slept with it. We have 1:52 remaining as Northern tries to set it up in the Wisconsin zone late in the period here.
I'd hate to see what his bed sheets look like.
And Wisconsin clears it away from the front of the net. Don't want to give up a goal late in the period.
No, last 2 minutes are just, they're absolute. The last 2 minutes of any period, you got to have the red flags up. You got to play strong defensively. You cannot make mistakes.
And there's a shot. Went off the plexiglass around over to Miller. Northern's held it in here for an extended period of time. Badgers need to get it out and get a change here. Laid down in the corner, back of it to try and set it up.
Good hit by Wisniewski there. Whoa, that's
Degenhardt.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty to take.
Let's take a look at what's going to happen during our second intermission here on Fox Sports Net. Your home of the Badgers all season long. We'll have highlights and stats and a live conversation with Coach Mike Eaves as Degenhardt heads to the penalty box.
Penalties away from the play are not acceptable. They're not acceptable to any coach anywhere. That's going to agitate Mike Eaves. Now watch Degenhardt here. Now this is just he's trying to do the wedge there, and I can understand what he's trying to get that player under control. But you know, you got to get in front of the player and go after the puck.
Well, how about the first shorthanded goal of the year?
I love the way you think. Absolutely. Now we got Ryan McMurtry. He's a freshman. Very surprising to see Mike Eaves put a freshman.
Shows he's got time.
Yeah, 100%.
Badgers with a couple of power play goals tonight, but right now they're shorthanded. 1:42 remaining. Northern is 1 of 3 with 3 shots so far tonight on their power play opportunity.
Bursch and McMurtry are 2 hard workers, and I understand why he's got those 2 guys out there.
Played along the courts on the far side, down to 33 seconds remaining in the period. And on the wraparound, the Badgers will drive it the length of the ice. What's your thoughts on Cap? Oh, and we've got a penalty called against Northern. That's going to take away the man advantage.
Mike Stutzel just pulled one of the stupidest plays in hockey. You know what he did? He took himself and he started playing for the name on the back of the jersey instead of the crest on the front. He hacked the Wisconsin player, and he took a baseball swing, and he's sitting in the penalty box. And you know what? If I'm Walt Kyle right now, that kid comes into the locker room, I'm going to say, who are you playing for? You playing for yourself, or you're playing for the team? Wisconsin deserves to score a power play goal when they come out for the third period.
And it's going to be set up along the boards. And in your career, you never took one bad penalty.
Penalties was a forte. I never took a bad penalty.
Here's Levitt with it on the shot. Oh, what a save! against Rennie Bork. Holy smokes.
You got to get those opportunities to score. Rennie Bork, keep doing it. He's looking up right now at the scoreboard saying, we got 5 seconds left. I should have capitalized on that opportunity. Now watch the setup here. Right from behind, Levitt, Bork. Wow, big save. You got to give credit where credit's due. Watch Bork and the one-timer here.
Ooh, he had his arms going up, didn't he?
His hand is sore from that save. That was a big shot.
Played along the boards, and we've come to the end of the second period. But good news for the Badgers. They were down 2-1 after one. They've tied it in the second at 2. And we'll be back. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home for Wisconsin Badger hockey all season long.
0.9% interest for 72 months on all Traxxter and Quest models.
Someday, I'll save the life of someone you love.
Someday, I'll build you a home where you can raise your family.
Someday, I'll give you hope when things seem hopeless.
Someday, I'll help your kids or grandkids prepare for their future.
Someday.
Someday. Someday.
Someday, we'll be there for you. But today, we need you to be there for us. Support candidates who believe that every kid deserves a great school.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Michael Irvin's superstar lifestyle almost ruined a Hall of Fame career.
I don't know anything about anything.
Living the high life
He was caught up in the money, the women, the drugs.
and in constant trouble.
Why does this stuff keep happening to you?
But a brush with death made him turn things around.
I was so afraid of that pain.
Playmaker or troublemaker? Michael Irvin, Beyond the Glory, tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
It has to mean something to be a teacher. It's a noble calling. I still believe that.
They fight to make a difference.
If you want respect, you gotta earn it. And this is where we start.
They dare to change their world.
I can't really say I've ever had a role model. Well, now I've got one. Thank you.
But this month,
Stephen, they're organizing.
Rumor has it that the students are planning.
Change.
Not everybody wants things to change. Shut up.
Oh, you shut up.
People, let's calm down.
the new season of Boston Public. This month on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Wisconsin Badger Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Tires Plus Total Car Care.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7 passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
Told you if we showed up late, we'd never find a place to sit.
Check it out.
Dude, we're so close we can practically taste the action.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath.
Stackhouse, Jerry Stackhouse.
Please welcome NBA All-Star Jerry Stackhouse.
Have you tried Culver's new Buffalo Chicken Tenders? Culver's Buffalo Chicken Tenders are made from the most tender part of the chicken breast. And they're seasoned the whole way through so you taste the heat in every bite of meat.
to Culver's for the hot new thing. Buffalo chicken tenders.
It's the 10th anniversary of Wisconsin's very own Megabucks from the Wisconsin Lottery. But finding a place for an anniversary party would be tough, because there's been more than 12 million Megabucks winners. So there's a different way to mark the anniversary. For a limited time, players who purchase a $5 Megabucks ticket for the next draw will receive 2 extra plays for the next draw. 2 extra chances to win the Megabucks jackpot. And that can be enjoyed any
Trackster and Quest models.
We're back in the hockey version of the classroom here as the Badgers, after 2 periods of play, have tied up the Wildcats of Northern Michigan and Tom Sagasor. The education has helped here from game 1 to game 2, hasn't it?
Better defensive coverage out of the Badgers tonight. They're getting more opportunities. They're taking the play to Northern Michigan. They're getting the hits. They're giving a hit. They're taking a hit. They're creating their own opportunities, and we've seen them capitalize on some of those opportunities.
They were down 2-1 after 1 period of play. The only goal of the period, Wisconsin gets it.
Here's Degenhart gets a shot. Get in on the goalie there, a Northern Michigan goalie. McMurchie comes in, drops it off for Heisler. One-timer, big save, but they're getting the opportunities. Now watch Gilbert up to Winchester. Now Levitt comes in, great individual effort. Watch Winchester get in there for second opportunity, and he scores the goal.
His first goal of the year, and a big goal for the Wisconsin Badgers because it tied the game at 2-2. There's the stats. After 2 periods of play, shots on goal, now the edge to Wisconsin by 4, but still in the face-offs, a decided edge for the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. But Tom, the Badgers have to have gained a little more confidence with that period.
I think that's it's been a settling process for this team. What they've done now is they understand how Coach Eves is how his style is gonna be behind the bench. Now what they need to do, they need to come out in the second, third period, and just keep that momentum going from the second period into the third period. Get some more goals here. Keep creating the opportunities. Opportunities get you goals, because if you can get opportunities, give a hit, take a hit, keep it going.
And we'll be back with a live interview with Coach Mike Eves after this timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Some like football in their living room. Others like it in their face. If you like it like this, the Dodge Durango Tailgater Edition will make your weekend. You get a Coleman Road Trip grill, cooler, barbecue tools, and more when you buy any new Durango. Plus, get $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing. And our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So bag the TV dinners and let the tailgating begin with the Dodge Durango Tailgater Edition.
Now get 3 years extended coverage and 2.9% interest for 72 months on all Trackster and Quest models.
The moment is now. The Barclay card. English. Premier. League. The ultimate angle. Position. And perspective. In the game of soccer. The Barclay Card English Premier League is now on Fox Sports World, your home of world-class soccer.
It happens every October. Sports' biggest month of the year takes flight. Fortunes are turning. Momentum is shifting. October's magical matchups continue this weekend, only on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Center into Madison, Wisconsin, where after 2 periods of play, the Wildcats of Northern Michigan and the Wisconsin Badgers are all tied up. at 2-2. Coburn has both goals for Northern Michigan. McMurtry has one for the Wisconsin Badgers, and Winchester got the one here in the second period, and we're all tied at 2-2. Tom, after last night's game, there was a lot of concern about defense and the coverage, but it looks better here so far in the first two periods.
Tonight, this team is synergizing with each other. The defense are synergizing with the forwards. What they're doing is they're figuring each other out here in this new system. Coverage-wise, I saw John Eichelberger earlier on in the period. He took his player all the way back to the net. He followed through. The other thing that's really, really consistent tonight throughout the whole team is the hitting. They're hitting a lot. When you're out there playing this game and you get hit, it hurts. But when you're hitting somebody, it doesn't hurt. So you gotta keep hitting out there to keep the motivation and the momentum going in the right direction.
He's also getting some contributions from the young and the new people.
That Adam Burish line is really playing well. McMurtry gets in front of the net. He holds his ground. He's a grinding winger. And when he's standing in front of the net, there's not very many people that are going to move him off the puck. And that's what related. What happened then is he gets a goal. And the reason he gets a goal is because he's in front of the net. He holds his ground. Nobody's going to move him out.
And there's another steadying influence in this game with Kabatoff in the nets.
And I think one of the foundations of your defensive coverage is good goaltending. It all bleeds together. It all works out together. And Kabatoff tonight has not given up the rebounds. He's not forced plays for his defensemen. And when he controls the game, his defensemen are going to be more comfortable back there.
And we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the third period of play-by-play. It's a 2-2 game, Wisconsin and Northern Michigan, after the break.
Every Saturday, I get together and play football with the guys. But this Saturday, I had to take a time out.
Hey, Steve, you okay?
It's my throat. It's all dry.
Hey, mine too. I think I got just what you guys need. Come on.
It was a good thing Brad was there. He explained that we were thirsty, and he gave us ice-cold Bud Lights. He told us that by drinking the Bud Light, parched feeling would go away. You know what? He was right.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey, guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
It's a grand party, and you're the guest of honor. Oneida Bingo's 26th anniversary celebration, October 13th through the 19th. We're awarding over $75,000 in cash and prizes. The first 500 bingo players every session to purchase an entry pack will receive a free anniversary scratch-off game piece for chances to win a Las Vegas trip for two, new furniture, gift certificates, and more. Enjoy increased payouts every session. AM session payouts increase to $350. PM and Night Owl session payouts increase to $400. Cash ball increases $26 every time the number I...
Hey, guys. Let's not forget, man, this is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore, so we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here the longest. You gotta make sure that, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
You can count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know, man.
Mike, I think I'm gonna get the, either the polish or the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
The NFL show with Irvin, Syracuse, and Davidson tonight and tomorrow on Fox Sports Net.
It's going to get underway here shortly, but a moment ago we had an opportunity to chat with Mike Eaves. Mike, you have to be very pleased with what you've seen in the first two periods of this one.
Well, it's a step in the right direction. The guys feel pretty good in there right now. They know that the job's not done. They got a lot of work to do, and they're revved up, ready to go.
Mike, looks like the guys are playing with more intensity tonight, more hits.
Well, that's one thing we addressed this morning. We looked at a lot of situations where we didn't play as hard as we could. I think sometimes, pictures say 1,000 words, and they saw what they were doing. And we told them we were going to hold them accountable to that. And one thing that we can control is their ice time, and they want to play, so they've gone out and been better.
Good luck in the third period, Coach.
Thanks.
Go get them, Michael.
Thank you.
And we're ready for the third period to get underway. Both teams are shorthanded a man in this 2-2 game. Wisconsin back in their own zone will start up ice. On the break, it's Winchester. On the play to Telephus. To the line of Wisconsin. Back over to Winchester. Shot and the save is made. Rebound is cleared along the boards. Wisconsin in a 2-2 game. And it shuffled along the near boards as Wisniewski tried to hold it in, but it rolls back down to the Badger zone. And Telefus will go back and pick it up. The Badgers would have a 43-second power play when Degenhardt's penalty is up as we get underway here in the third period. Degenhardt with 14 more seconds remaining on the penalty time.
We've started out with Pete Telefus and Brad Winchester there at the forward position. Two highly skilled, good working players there on that 4-on-4. Now we're going to be 4 seconds away from a power play. We need to convert this one.
And Wisconsin's goals in this game, McMurtry, his first of the year, and Winchester got his first of the year. Coburn has 2 for Northern Michigan. The Badger 2 goals, both on the power play. And the man advantage now for the Badgers as they'll set it up. Here's Levitt, comes in over the line. Levitt controlling the puck, tried to play it toward the slot. It was blocked. Rennie Bork's pass was all the way back down to the Wisconsin zone. Davidoff will leave it for Fahey. Fahey comes off on the pass to Levitt as he left it behind the net. On the break out towards center ice. McMurtry tipped it down in the corner on the near board. Angled it off the end boards. Man advantage Wisconsin. Badgers control. Levitt with it. Cycled it low in the corner. McMurtry with it. Little give and go on the pass. Back to the Levitt. And Northern's back at full strength. Rennie Bork with it. Rennie Bork with the puck. And he's ridden up against the boards by Allen. And Northern Michigan comes out of their own zone on the break. Something happened away from the play there. There's the drive. The shot is blocked, and it comes all the way out of the zone. Badgers Rennie Bork in over the line, looking for the outlet on the pass. McMurtry trying to break to the net. It's turned away. And skating up ice and coming in over the line, it's Southern with Stutzel. Off of the drop, the shot deflected in the corner. Able to pick it up is Southern. Southern cycled it on the wing, deep in the zone. Northern worked it behind the net of Wisconsin. Play along the boards to the point, trying to knock it down was Bois. Laid it back to the Badger net. Wisniewski is there. Tipped it around to Degenhardt. And that play comes. Whoa, did they have an extra player on the ice? We'll take a break, and we're back after this timeout. It's 2-2 on Fox Sports Net.
Bring him.
That'll fix it. And now if I could just find someone I trust to fix my furnace problem. I just don't trust those wild claims I see in the paper.
That's why I call the Ring team. They're different. They were on time, explained the problem, fixed only what needed fixing. Fair price, too.
Yeah, right.
No, really. Call the Ring team.
Give me that number.
In southeastern Wisconsin, call Dyckman Family Heating, Air Conditioning, and Boiler Corporation at 414-273-7500.
We will impress you when you make that call to the Ring team.
Penalty has been called here, giving the Badgers a power play. Sharuk is in the penalty box, and Wisconsin with a man advantage. Play along the boards as Pete Telefus gets some help as Winchester drives it back down. But Northern will clear it the length of the ice, and the Badgers with a man advantage will go back and set it up. Bench penalty. Too many men on the ice was the call there, giving Wisconsin the man advantage in a 2-2 game. Coming up ice, Wisniewski with it. Wisniewski skates in over the line. Jensen goes down in the corner. Behind the net, Winchester is there. Digging forward along the boards, forcing it loose. Telefus to the point on the play to Wisniewski. The drive tipped in front. Badgers hold it in. Shot by Gilbert, high and wide of the goal. Winchester behind the net to Telefus. Little give and go, back over to Winchester. Winchester backdoor to Gilbert, and the save is made by Kowalski. And speaking of Telefus, it's a pleasure to have in our booth the father of Pete Telefus, former Badger Dean Telefus, who played with Wisconsin back in 1971 through 74. Welcome in, Dean.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me up here.
It's been a few years, huh?
30.
Dean, you were one of the all-time great Badger players. It's got to be exciting to have your son out here playing for him now.
You know, it really is. I don't know how much you're going to get out of me up here because I'm just really enjoying watching the team and watching Pete play for the Badgers.
I bet. He's absolutely been a joy for us to watch as well.
Here's Levitt with it right in front of the backhander and the knockdown save. And play continues behind the net. Man advantage for Wisconsin. Levitt with it, working the wing on the near side. Pete Talipus transferred in from Alaska, sat out last year, worked hard, and is going to get a lot of opportunity to play for the Badgers this season.
Peter was the Rookie of the Year for you guys up in Alaska, correct?
Yes, he was.
He had a few points up there, 8 goals, 8 assists. It seems to me that he's picked up right where he left off there, and he's playing real well here.
Yeah, he's your strength and conditioning coach did a real good job with him last year when he had that year off. They worked real hard with Pete. I can see he's a lot stronger right now.
Where's he better as a hockey player in your mind?
I think he's just stronger in the lower body. His stride's a little bit stronger. He's stronger on the puck. And I think just practicing, he's very comfortable out there. He's got 1 year under his belt and playing with some poise.
Play behind the net of Wisconsin. Both teams are at full strength. Tom Sagasor here in the booth. Yours truly, Paul Brown, along with Dean Talipus. Where do you see the big difference between the game between tonight and last night? Oh, Badgers team.
I'm telling you, everywhere. This is really encouraging. They're playing very well tonight, and boy, to come back after last night and play this well, I think we all can be encouraged about the year.
It's played along the boards, down in the corner, able to try and set it up. And coming up ice in the neutral zone, Donat with it, and he drives it back down in the zone. Winchester will turn and try to bring it back up ice for the Badgers. There's a drive, and Kozlowski with a save. How tough is it for players to adjust to new systems, new coaching staffs, and that type of thing?
Well, I really think what happened was last night they wanted to play perfect hockey, and they wanted to do everything Mike Eaves had been asking them. And tonight, you know, they're going out there and just playing hard. And it's amazing how things come to you as you play hard and you start to play relaxed. And it's just a world of difference, and it's good for the kids.
14 minutes, 29 seconds remaining here. And skating up ice, it's Harrison comes in over the line. Played along the boards, Winchester tried to knock it down. Owasniewski with it. Take it away. And with it is Southern moving it in, shot it high and wide of the goal. 2-2 to score. Northern's first 2 of the night came off the stick of Coburn, and their last goal was scored in the first period. The Badgers got 1 in each period. One of the 2 by Winchester is the puck. Backdoor! Oh, Levitt with it, and he tried to pass it off over to Eichelberger. Kohl with it behind the net.
Dean, defensive coverage is everything in this game. What have you seen different from last night to tonight in terms of their defensive coverage?
I think they're coming back into the zone and they're shutting it down a lot quicker. They're playing more aggressive on the puck instead of letting the other team come in and have a little bit too much room in the corners. And they're just they're making just quicker decisions and doubling up on the puck and turning it over and countering. I mean, it's amazing in 24 hours or less than 24 hours. But yeah, I think they're just doing things a lot quicker out there, and it's both offensively and defensively.
What do you think the reason for that is, Dean? Is it because of the teaching, or is that just a natural progression of getting better inside the system?
I think they were nervous last night. I think they were thinking too much. First game, everything, a lot of freshmen. And like I said, the coaching staff must have done an amazing job. They didn't get upset with them. They just told them, let's go out and play better, and you know, instill some confidence in them, and you're seeing the results.
How was Peter's reaction after last night's game?
Well, they were disappointed. They knew they were a better hockey team than that, but they were certainly positive.
There's a shot and a goal as Northern has taken a 3-2 lead with a shot from just inside the blue line. May have been Allen, and it's a 3-2 game.
That's the type of goal that Kabatoff needs to make the first save on. It's a shot that's outside the circles here. Comes across, one-timer. Kabatoff needs to make that save for this team to be successful.
7:25, the time of the goal.
Jackson's going to take his player. He's taking his player. He's got him. Kabatoff, he gets a weak shot off. Kabatoff needs to make that save.
So we now have a 3-2 game here. The Badgers, 12:31 remaining, third period. There's a shot and the save by Kabatoff. How is that as a father to sit in the crowd and watch the game?
You know, I've been real relaxed. This is just such a treat for Peter to play with the Badgers and for me to be down here and just as a parent and to watch him play. It's really been fun this weekend.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1973, the Badgers' first national title, where you score a goal with 5 seconds left against Cornell, score the overtime winner, and send the Badgers into the championship game to win their first NCAA title. I can remember distinctly where I was, but that had to be a big highlight for you, Dean, in your career.
Oh, there's no question, and it was exciting, and I think that's why it's so special to come back now and to be a fan and be able to sit and wear a Badger red. I mean, it's just really special.
Dean, we want to thank you for stopping by, and good luck to you and your son here.
Hey, thanks a lot.
That's Dean Talafus, who played for the Badgers from 71 to 74, had 133 points in his career. Had a nice career in the National Hockey League as well. 11 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here, third period. Northern leading it 3-2. Played back down in the corner. Wisconsin needs a goal to tie this one up here. And Kohl turned looking for help from Rennie Bork. Bork turned, passed it through the crease. And a shot by Kohl, blocked in front to the corner. Badgers behind the net. Rennie Bork tried to get it to Levitt, who maintained possession of the puck. Putting it in, shot, and a penalty's coming up. Another nice play by Levitt.
Eric Jensen parked himself in front of the net and created an open space. Absolutely created a spot.
Badgers on the power play when we come back.
Oh, Steve, I don't think you should hang the bug zapper over the Bud Light. That's really tacky.
Yeah.
Great party. Thank you.
Yeah, this dip is fantastic.
Great. I love these crunchy things on top. Are they caraway seeds?
Yes.
I didn't put anything on the dip.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Great party, guys.
Fun.
Make it a Bud Light.
Sin has gone to the penalty box on the cross-checking call. Man advantage, Wisconsin. Both their goals tonight, power plays. Let's hope they got the third one in their scoring sticks there, huh?
I absolutely love this song, PB. Again, last night I told you, this is the song they play when the Badgers are on the power play. Okay? And when they play the song, it just gets you going. It gets you all fired up because you're going to go out and score a goal.
We got to get you some kind of signal that you can give to the crowd when you want them to get enthused and fired up. Maybe we can get you a rally rag or something like that.
The Sago rag.
Sago rag. There you go. The Sags rag.
Now we need to get these guys in here set up and get some great opportunities.
Come on, they need a power play goal, and the save is made by Kowalski.
We got Winchester, Jensen, and Pete Talafis out here on this forward, at the forward position here on this power play. As you can see, they are not working as well together as the Northern Michigan power play. But what they are doing now is they're penetrating the zone, they're bringing the puck down low, and then they're popping it out high to Fahey and Jackson and trying to get some shots.
Badgers, there's a drive, blocked in traffic, and Northern clears it off the near boards. Dunnett laid it the length of the ice.
And they're only going to get better, Paul. This group of kids is highly skilled, and they're only going to get better as they start practicing more. And you know the old saying, practice makes perfect.
Well, when you get people like Dean Talafis, who obviously knows the game, has been involved in it for years, as a player at a lot of different levels, including in the NHL, and as a coach. And when he says there's an amazing difference between night 1 and 2, you know there's been vast improvement, and there will be even more.
We talked a little bit about it last night, about the intensity. They need to raise intensity.
Dunnett with a shot. Ooh, that just missed the corner of the net. Badgers are down to 40 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Pardon me, 42 seconds remaining at a man advantage, and we'll have the face-off coming up.
What these players are doing is they're interviewing for a job. They want to be in the lineup night after night. On a Friday and Saturday night, these players want to be out there. They want to be playing for the Wisconsin Badgers, playing for Mike Hughes. And by doing the working hard, effort, energy, excitement, playing contact hockey, the genuine enthusiasm. And when I say genuine enthusiasm, Paul, I'm talking about real hard going out there. You put your heart on your sleeve and you bust your butt until either somebody's laying on their back or the puck's in the net. One of the two.
Too many men on the ice was the call there, resulting in a penalty on Wisconsin with 9:22 remaining.
I hated those bench penalties. I always had to go sit in the penalty box.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Not your senior year. You played.
Well, I killed some penalties, I guess, my senior year. My first 2 years, though, I always was the guy who had to go sit in the box.
Rennie Bork will serve the penalty.
As my dad said, best seat in the house, Tommy.
And back over to set it up. Played back down in the corner now. Both teams shorthanded a man, but in 28 seconds, Northern Michigan will have the power play, and they lead in the game by a score of 3-2. Gilbert down in the corner, over to try and pick it up. Crawl turn. Igap is cleared out of the zone. That's Gilbert behind the net of Wisconsin. Badgers turn, and they'll come up ice with it. In the neutral zone, Levitt. Levitt, nice move, maintained possession of the puck. Look at that. Little nifty move there. That looked like a Sagasaur move.
Levitt is turning into a real good college player right now. He's actually bringing this level of play up another notch than he needs to be.
And they try to go backdoor on the pass, but it was tipped away. Back down in the corner on the wing. 8 minutes, 23 seconds remaining here in the third period of play. Northern Michigan is now on the power play. Their time is 53 seconds remaining, man advantage. Coburn to the blue line of Wisconsin, tipped away there. Stutzel got the play. Stutzel out with Gobert and Coburn.
Got the Badgers here trying to kill this penalty. They're going to play down low. When the puck's down low, they're going to suck out high. When the puck's out high.
Milam waiting at the point, but they cycle it low. Shot it through the crease, comes around. And Milam setting it up on the wing on the near side. That goes to Micheludi. And a whistle and play will be stopped. 7:36 remaining in the third period.
Adam Burrish is getting a lot of time here in the penalty kill tonight. And that tells me that Mike believes that he's got he's a hard-working, tenacious player. You want your guys who go the extra effort every play, every opportunity to be on the penalty kill.
He's from Madison, Wisconsin, Burrish is.
Played for Mark Gosicki and the Green Bay Gamblers last year.
High school hockey at Edgewood. Laid back down. Whistle as Kabatov skated out of the crease area there.
I think Kabatov was ready to go up to the blue line and drop that puck. We've got Northern Michigan with 3 hits so far in the third period, and the UW Badgers with 5. So we've got a 3-2 game here. We've got 7 minutes to go. Now Mike's got to be thinking, okay, I need my best players to be out here in the last 7 minutes. And I'll tell you, he's got to get some opportunities.
And the power play is over for Northern Michigan. And the Wildcats will set it up still, though, in the Wisconsin zone. Badgers need a goal to tie this game. Southern played it behind the net of Wisconsin. It was 2-1 after 1, 2-2 after 2, and Northern has scored at 6:25 here in the third period. And it rolls past the stick there of Baranek, and Baranek back, though, to cover. Allen with it, played at blue line of Wisconsin, led through. Harrison in the corner, tried to hit Donat. Play in the corner on the near boards with 6:40 remaining in the third. Back of the net, Badgers come out of their own zone. Up ice, Rennie Bork picks it up off the boards on the pass. Tried to work his way loose, pinched in the corner. Badgers Eichelberger to Jackson with a drive, went behind the goal. And it's set up to be cleared by Vaughn. Wisconsin at center ice, and Gilbert plays it back down in the corner. 6:13 remaining here in the third period. And they try to go to Heisler in front of the net. Shot high and wide of the goal. McMurchie almost came up with an opportunity. As they move it toward the slot, McMurchie right there in front again. McMurchie down on a little give and go. To Burridge. Back over to McMurchie. Like the way those guys play, Zach.
They're playing well. Heisler, McMurchie, these guys are grinders, and Burridge is a real talented player.
As Wisconsin tries to hold the zone. It's cleared to the boards with 5:38 remaining here in the third period of play. Badgers lost the opening game of this tournament, the icebreaker to RPI. And Burridge tried to pick it up and did, turned and played it back down in behind. Badgers now with some pressure and hustle, trying to hold the zone. They try to move it in toward the slot. And it's flipped up over the boards and out of play. We're going to take a break. We're at the Kohl Center in Madison. It's the Wildcats of the Badgers. Here is the Corona game summary. Coburn with 2 goals. Badgers with a couple of power plays. Levitt's played well. A couple of assists. Shots are 27-19.
Right now, after a combined 44 hits in the first and second periods, the two teams have a combined 8 in the third period. This has become more of a finesse game here. Badgers are trying to get a goal. Northern Michigan's giving them the opportunity to play that game.
Who does that give the advantage to?
I think that's giving the advantages right now to the Badgers, but at the Badgers, because they're getting more opportunities. And anytime you start playing too much finesse, you're going to make mistakes, and that's what Northern Michigan's hoping. That's what we're hoping Northern Michigan's going to do.
Coming back over to set it up. Holland with it. Comes cross ice over to Miller. Back over to Holland. Alphys on the forecheck. Played past the Badger blue line. Crawl to pick it up. Alphys looking for help to try and get it out of the zone, and Kabatoff with a save. Scott Kabatoff, 91 save percentage for the Badgers.
Alex Levitt's having a great game tonight. Did a spinorama there on the blue line earlier, and you know Kabatoff's got to be thinking to himself, I hope that Coach Eves has got the Levitt line out there. I hope he's got the Alphys line out there, Burridge line. Get those guys out there. Get some penetration into the Northern Michigan zone. Get some opportunities. And again, we've seen the Badgers have been able to score.
Well, Mike told the team, did he not, at the beginning of the year? He said, understand this right away. Not everybody's going to play in the third period.
That is correct. Mike Eves believes that to win the game, you got to go with the players who are intense and will enable you to be successful in the offensive zone.
4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Wisniewski with it. Comes around the boards in the play. Turning to try to bring it out. And
come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With
Bork to the point. Badgers got Rennie Bork moving to the net, but the pass was behind him. Around on the far side. That's too bad, Zags, or he could have gone with a pretty good opportunity.
And I like the way he called for the puck there.
And moving it in, Levitt with a shot. Kick save as Kowalski turned it away.
Levitt was shooting for the short side, and he missed. It was a good shot, good effort.
3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining here in the third period of play. And the Badgers will be at the Kohl Center again next weekend. Plenty of tickets available. Come on out and support this team. Alabama Huntsville will be in town. There's a drive. Rennie Bork with a shot. The follow. And a goal! Badgers have tied the game as the goal scored by Jackson.
What a super play by Rennie Bork. Individual effort, comes across the blue line, does a dipsy-do, pulls it between his legs,
blasts a slap shot, save, and again, Paul, second opportunity. Watch Rene Bourque here. Dipsy-do, winds up slap shot, and Mark Jackson steps in. He had 3 seconds to get to that play. Wow, those are the kind of goals I used to score right there. Oh, that's beautiful. Rene Bourque, great play. Get the shot. Again, it's a second opportunity. That's where you score these goals. Kids at home, remember that. After the first shot, you got to follow it up because that's how you get the goals.
And he's played back down in the corner as it's a tie game with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. McMurchie in front of the net. Moving it up ice, coming in over the line. It's Coburn. Coburn off on the wing in the near board. I'll tell you, Sags, a victory here in this one would really do positive things. Wouldn't you agree for Wisconsin?
We're going to get this victory.
There's the drive, and Kowalski drove it behind the net. Around on the point, the pass is blocked. Badgers move it in, trying to get off a backhander. And play is going to be stopped. We'll be back. Stick around. The Badgers could pull it out on Fox Sports Net.
Come on! We don't be late for the game. Let's go!
With 7-passenger seating in a Ford Explorer, picking up your buddies for a Badgers game just got easier, even if they are a little out of the way. And with independent rear suspension, it offers a smoother ride and better handling.
We need snacks.
So, whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, true Badger fans trust the Ford Explorer to get them there.
Hey, guys, where's Jack? Guys? Oh, very funny, guys.
Rene Bourque's got the Badger fans going now. Mark Jackson stepped in there, scored that goal. Now watch the Badger fans. They're all standing up. They're all excited. 3-3 to go. 3-3 in this game. 2:35 to go. Now let's go capitalize on another opportunity. Remember, second and third shot scores goals. That's what they got to do right now.
And it's set up along the boards. Jensen with it. Poke checked on the save. Behe trying to hold the zone. Puck is played just outside the line of the Badgers. Whistle and action stopped at the blue line.
You know, when they get their nose dirty, Paul, that's when things happen. And you saw that right there. Everybody was scrambling. The puck came loose. Jackson scored the goal. He had some time. I thought he was going to put it on a tee before he shot it, actually. But it was great.
32-20. The shots on goal in this game. And the crowd is into it. You're right, Sags. 1, 2, 3. We want more.
You can't help but get into a game when plays like that are happening.
And Telf is back to set it up, laid it behind the net. Badgers turn and they look to start out of the zone. 1:55 remaining in regulation.
Okay, now we got to see some scoring leadership out of this team. We got 1:49 to go. We've got some senior leadership out there, some good players. Let's get something going.
And the Badgers will get it going as they have an icing call against Northern Michigan. That'll draw the face-off in the zone of the Wildcats.
Okay.
And let's see who the Badgers are going to put out on the ice.
And Paul, what's going to be important here is how they set up defensively as well. You're going to watch the defense because you're going to try to get that puck back to the D, let them shoot, and then get in there and pounce on the second opportunity.
Levitt's played well. It'd be great to see him score the winner. Huh?
Absolutely. I would love to see Alex. He's playing great hockey right now. And he's going to get the opportunity here, too.
Moving it up ice. Harrison comes in over the line. Busting it out the far wing. Cleared off his stick. As Northern tries to hold the zone, the Badgers turn and will bring it out. Levitt up the board. It's Rene Bourque coming in over the line. Shot to goal! Rene Bourque ripped the net. Getting his first goal of the year. And the Badgers have come back and taken the lead. And traded to 4-3.
Paul, I'm absolutely fired up for Rene Bourque right now. The last goal, it was a great individual effort on his part, Dipsy-do. Now he comes across that blue line. He pulled it back, and he fired a puck past that goalie. I still don't think he saw the puck. I don't even think the goalie saw it on the replay. Watch Rene Bourque here. What a great snapshot. That's a goal in any league there. And when I say any league, I'm talking the NHL, the AHL, the IHL, the EHL, the European leagues, the Pee Wee leagues, the Squirt leagues. That's a great goal. Badger fans are excited right now. We got 1:16, 4-3 lead. Coach Eves has got to make sure his players are sound right now. Defensive posture is everything here in the last 1:16 to go. What they need to do is now, Mike's going to call timeout here. And what they're going to do right now is he's going to say, okay, guys, listen, we've got a 4-3 lead. What we need to do, we need to have good, solid defensive posture. No breakdowns, no defensive lapses. Let's help Cabby get his win here, and we're off to something special here.
And are you done talking? Why don't you go into the huddle and give the talk right now from up here, huh?
Well, it's very often, you know, the last minute of the game, every once in a while, I'd even get the chance to play out there. What a great goal. Rene Bork had an excellent last. This is the type of leadership that this team needs. Rene Bork, last year, he's a junior this year. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. He's a wing, comes from St. Albert, Alberta. Has played for the St. Albert Saints. You know, that's the same team that Gary Shuchuk came from, so I got to like him no matter what. But it's just good to see a guy like that step up to the plate and make something work.
I'll tell you, Levitt and Rene Bork have played pretty well here tonight. Rene Bork, that may be the biggest goal he scored for the Badgers. Now, 1 minute 10 seconds remaining in regulation time. As Mike Eaves and the Badgers looking for their first win under the new coaching staff, and a penalty called against, or did they pull the goalie? They pulled the goalie. The net is empty.
Defensive posture. Now they've got to cover that defensive zone. We've got Kohl, we've got Bork, we've got Fahey, Winchester. We've got to have good defensive posture here. 53 seconds to go. This is less than 1 mile in the marathon here, Paul. 1 mile to go, baby. We got to get her going.
It's the toughest mile, though, Zach.
It's the toughest mile, but you know what? Now the enthusiasm. Now you got genuine enthusiasm. You don't have to manufacture anything when you got a minute to go and you've got a 4-3 lead. They just need to come out, play solid defense.
What's the role?
Defense wins championships, and you know what defense starts with? D. And you know what comes after E? D? E. You know what E stands for?
Effort.
And you know what also E stands for? Enthusiasm. Genuine enthusiasm, Paul.
They have put some additional seconds on the clock here for Northern Michigan. It's up to 58.9 seconds now.
Now, Kabatoff is going to be telling his defenseman, keep it outside the zone.
Illegal substitution of the goaltender and the face-off at center ice. So we have 58.9 seconds left. The Badgers lead it 4-3. Tom, what is the role now for the players when you have, well, of course, they put the goaltender back in now, but in that kind of a situation, what's the role here for everybody?
Well, the role is basically make sure you don't screw up. You don't want to have a mistake cost you the game. That's what you want to make sure of. Everything is posture. You know, you don't need to go score a goal to win this thing. All you need to do is make sure you don't get scored.
Ooh, and that one kind of trickled in on Kabatoff, and it forced him to stop the play, which draws the face-off in the zone.
Now, this is something that's really exciting about this team because it's a come-from-behind opportunity to win. Not going to say win yet, but it's a come-from-behind opportunity to win. What that means is that's good, solid effort. They're not stopping. They're never say die.
A timeout has been whistled here with 37.4 seconds remaining. The Badgers were down 1-0 in this game. They tied it at 1 at the 4:52 mark in the first period as McMurchie got his first goal of the year. In the second period, Winchester tied it up at 2 after Northern Michigan got their second goal of the game, and that was scored by Coburn. And then here in the third, Jackson and Rene Bork have scored for Wisconsin. Looking for the perfect way to spend your evenings? Then it's the Best Damn Sports Show with your hosts, Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. It's the only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. So kick back and enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Now available weeknights at 8 and 11 p.m. only on Fox Sports Net. And anybody that knows how Tom Sagasor can make an appearance on that show, call Sags.
I'm ready and fired up to be on that show. I was watching Walt Kyle here on his playboard. He's going to try to jam up right in front of the net. And he's going to try to just throw the puck down on the goalie and just jam it up.
33 seconds remaining, and the Badgers dump it down the ice. And chasing it is Miller. The Wildcat net is empty. And an icing against the Badgers will draw the faceoff back in the Wisconsin zone.
Again, you're going to see an overload by Northern Michigan. Mike Eaves is aware of what's happening there, and I just saw him pointing over to Jackson to stay low, because what's going to happen is you're going to see Northern Michigan overload that side. So Jackson's got to stay low and cover he's going to probably have to cover two guys there.
And the face-off at the draw set up by Northern. And there's a drive, and it's blocked. Nice lead by the Badgers. We have 18 seconds remaining in regulation time. The puck down in the corner as Southern played it behind the net. And a drive. Kabatov watching the action behind the goal. The Badgers trying to pinch in close. Comes back to the point on the far side. Alon with a shot, and it's blocked in front. We've got three, and there it is. The Badgers have won the game. They have won the first game for Coach Mike Eaves. Coming back from a deficit here of 1-0, 2-1, and they win the game. Tom Sagasor 4-3.
Great turnaround effort from yesterday's game against RPI. The team came out, they played hard, they took a hit, they gave a hit, they conquered, they came from behind, they won. Great individual efforts by Rennie Bork, Alex Levitt, Scott Kabatov. Great game. Badger fans got to be excited about next weekend for this game.
And both clubs will exchange the traditional handshake here at the Kohl Center. The fans appreciating the efforts of the Wisconsin Badgers, especially from one night to the second here, Seth.
Badger fans are going to be excited about the come-from-behind win. That's what gets that genuine enthusiasm going. Mike Eaves did a great job turning these guys around. What he didn't do is he didn't come in and say, guys, you're bad, you're horrible, we need to go back to the drawing board. What he did was he came in and said, guys, we're all learning here. We're all going to get better, and we're going to be better. And you know what? They came out with intensity and fire.
4-3, the Badgers have defeated the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. We're back on Fox Sports Net.